When you're blue and kinda lonely too, you'll find a smile will go a long, long way. Though you're down, don't sit around and frown. A little smile will go a long, long way. Never grieve, just try to make believe the sky is blue, although you know it's gray. Don't you find it's just a waste of time? You'll find a smile will go a long, long way.
Welcome into another edition. It's Ron and Jen's Great Escape. Believe it or not, this is episode 19 already.
19.
And they said it wouldn't last. 19.
They did. How's our viewership? Is it going down or up?
It's about stagnant.
It's
But,
well,
you know,
I mean,
listenership, viewership, we're working on it.
We need a great guest.
And the people, no, we don't. And the people, we are our great guests. And the people who do participate and the people who do enjoy this, thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Tell your friends, pass the
That's
word. Building 19. This show is more like Building 19 than it is Episode 19.
It's becoming that way.
It is becoming.
That is true.
It's very becoming. So here we are, knee-deep in summer with the 4th of July past us. I hope people haven't lost their thumbs due to fireworks. We have all 10 of our fingers.
That's right.
So we put them together. What do you got? That would be 20.
You got 20.
You got 20. But I'm sure
That's good math.
I'm sure some brouillon blew his hand off somewhere, or set his house on fire with a deep fried turkey, or some nonsensical activity, right?
They're having. I'm not going to say where you live, but as I was driving, they're planning for a big party.
I live in East Greenwich. You can say that,
Wow,
but don't tell them.
I don't know what's
going
on your block. I don't know if it's a after holiday weekend fiesta, but there's a huge party that I can see the planners.
I can tell you.
I rolled by slowly and thought maybe I'll go.
Yeah, right. Just crash the party.
Go. Yeah.
Well, you're going to crash the party filling up your gas tank at $3 a gallon. It's $3.05.
It sure
at
is.
the corner of Frenchtown and whatever. But here in beautiful East Greenwich at the Seasons, where if you pump it yourself, $3.05.
You know what really just I hate that from a distance you see $2.95, okay, and you think, oh, that's a good price, whatever, right? So you go rolling up and you put your card in and you give them your PIN and you start pumping, and all of a sudden it says Smart Member. $2.95.
Well,
because you look down and then it says regular price $3.05. I got totally hosed today.
Bait and switch.
I did.
You got baited and then switched. So the reason they're saying the problem is a shortage of tanker truck drivers to transport the fuel from storage terminals to stations. Nobody wants to work.
Who's they? I don't believe anything anymore. Can I just tell you, for the record, we could be lying. I mean, we won't lie, but I mean, who do you believe anything?
Who would know
at all? Anymore?
Who would know?
That's right. I mean, I don't believe one darn thing that comes from any of them. Except for us.
It's too many sources.
We're reliable.
Too many sources.
I trust us.
I trust us, too.
I think that we're trustworthy.
Explicitly.
Yeah.
Passenger frustration is boiling over at understaffed airports. Apparently, there's not enough people with the TSA now. They can't find people. So all the screening and everything, and now everybody's traveling again. So everything's going go crazy, go nuts.
So now they took the booze off the planes because everybody was going bat poop crazy.
Right.
So now they're going to have to shut down which they won't, airport liquor houses.
No, they're not going to do
that. Right. So that people don't go through there and go ape poop crazy.
They're waiting 3 hours. They get gassed.
You'd be mad. You're not a patient guy.
No, I'm not.
Can you imagine if you had to wait and wait?
Well, it's probably on my plate because we're supposed to go to Aruba in November.
You're traveling again.
We'll see what happens.
Do you have your vaccination passport?
Right now, not required, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
Okay.
Back in February, by the way, the TSA, they set a goal of hiring 6,000 employees.
How'd that go?
They're halfway there.
Yeah.
They only have 3,000 new employees.
No one wants to work.
Speaking of patience.
Nobody.
Speaking of patience.
Yes.
Because everybody now seems to be traveling again. And if you're traveling and you need your passport and you haven't got one, or you need it renewed, talk about patience. Right now, the State Department is saying it's taken up to 18 weeks now to get your passport renewed or to get a brand new passport.
I don't even know where mine is.
Well,
I had one. I don't know.
How old is it?
Well,
It's every 10 years.
Well, yeah, I got it because remember when I applied to be on Survivor Africa?
Oh, yes.
Yes, and I actually got called back from
You did.
CBS,
You
and
did.
I had to go to Boston and the whole thing. So
Twice. You got called twice.
I thought that I was going to make it on a Survivor,
Yeah,
but
we
then
both
they
did.
asked me a series of questions, and I knew what they were looking for. I knew the answers they were looking for. To this day, I say that if I'd answered them the way that they wanted, I would have made the show. But I didn't answer them the way that they wanted.
That's the last time you looked for your passport.
I
Just
don't
in
know where it
case.
is. It's gone. Somebody
Well,
could be using it.
It's every 10 years you got to renew it.
Yeah.
Just to keep that in mind. Best and worst states for summer travel as we are knee deep into travel.
Wallet Hub?
Wallet Hub indeed.
Wallet Hub.
Wallet Hub indeed.
Woo!
And Wallet Hub does not like us. And once again,
Wallet Hub sucks, Ron.
Rhode Island, well, we get the black
They
eye.
suck.
We get the black eye from Wallet Hub once
Go
again.
figure, yeah.
Worst states for summer road trips, Rhode Island's number one.
What, really?
Number one.
Why?
They judged the states on 33 key metrics for road trips in areas. See, Hazel's upset
I know.
about that.
I don't
She doesn't
like
like Wallet Hub at all. You know, Wallet Hub has a hair across its butt about labs, too. Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So she gets very
That a
upset about
girl.
that. Best and worst states for summer road trips. 33 key metrics for road trips. Okay, Hazel, calm down. Areas of cost, safety, and activities. And we
Okay.
finished last. I mean, you can do the entire state in, what, an hour? You
Yeah.
can travel, side to side in 2 hours.
Maybe it's the gantries. Maybe they get all ticked off.
Gina.
because of our
Gina.
big gantries. You know, I was driving
Gina's
under
gantries.
one the other day. There's a gazillion cameras. There's not.
Oh, more to come, too.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I've never paid attention. I just see these big metal things, and I think Gina Raimondo, the gantries, wow, whatever, they must pay a lot of money. But I actually took the time to look around like this.
Like a turkey looking up when it rains.
There's so many that why though? Why? Is it so that they can get the truck or whatever from? Are they that afraid of losing a truck's revenue that they literally have 100 cameras in one position?
Let me think. Yes.
Wow, it's mind blowing.
It's all about the scratch.
Yeah,
The
well,
Scarol.
of course.
Scarol.
Hi, Hazel.
All right. Speaking of
What
travel.
else you got?
World Health Organization.
Yeah.
On a very different page than the
Oh, yeah.
CDC when it comes to masking up. And apparently the WHO, WHO, is urging fully vaccinated people to wear masks because the Delta variant is starting to spread, going crazy, go nuts.
Yeah.
So, again, who are you listening to?
But
you know?
why are they? Okay, so they said that if you got an inoculation, you'll
Yep.
be all set. The variant, you should be
if you
protected.
got the yes, they said play it safe.
Right, right. And then the other day they were saying, don't worry about inoculating little kids. By the way, it's old folk now that need the shot. So it's changing. People aren't going to do this. They're done with the fear. Ron, you do know that.
Oh, yeah,
you
I
see
accept
the
that.
crime. It's hot outside.
Yes, I
People are
accept that.
drinking. They're liquoring up. It's getting really wacky out there, right?
Yeah, I mean it's the time of the year, and
I mean-
everybody's letting their guard down again, and they're crazy from cabin fever, and they're getting out. So I
Yeah,
agree
they
with
are.
you. I agree with you.
No, they don't want to put up with that. They're
but
done.
it's unsettling to see that the World Health Organization and the CDC are on two completely separate pages. So
Well, again,
knows?
I don't believe a thing the World Health Organization says. They
Not
do
one
this,
thing?
do that.
Not one
no,
thing?
No, nothing. Because when they exonerate China, when they say China is unfairly being accused of spreading the virus, I just think that that's insane. Where did you get your information? Did you have an in-depth examination into the lab there? Do we have any details? What are you basing that statement on? They lose all credibility when they said that.
do you want to hear my vaccination story now?
Oh, Ron almost died, everybody. Legit. It was so bad that his wife invited me to come over for dinner after he got out of the hospital, as I didn't know if it was he could still die dinner, or if he does die, we'll have one last meal, or if it was thank God Ron didn't die dinner. I wasn't sure.
didn't even
but
know
the
she
food
invited
was
you
good.
over.
Yeah, I was here. You
Ron-
don't remember me in your kitchen?
Death, almost dead leftovers. Is what it was.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I got the
Crazy.
Pfizer. I got the Pfizer vaccine.
He did.
And about 9 days after the first dose, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't catch my breath. And I've done how many half marathons in my life?
10, at
And
least.
I don't smoke. I've never
No?
smoked. Yeah, a little pot in high school and in college.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm talking about cigarettes. I'd never smoked a
didn't
cigarette
inhale.
in my life. No. I never smoked a cigarette in my life. 9 days after I got the first Pfizer vaccine, I suffered a massive pulmonary embolism. In fact, I think they call it a bridge blood clot. It went actually from one side to the other.
Oof.
And they're looking at the film at Kent County Hospital. And by the way, Kent County, which gets a lot of knocks, a lot of people knock Kent County
I like
Hospital.
Kent County.
I was there for 3 days.
They took good care
they
of
were
me.
They were fabulous.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous.
Well,
so a big thumbs up to Kent County, but they couldn't figure out the reason for this.
Rewind the story. Get back to the good stuff. People want the gory details. So I'll tell it. So Ron was at the top of his stairs, and he almost fell down, and he comes down to the bottom of the stairs, and he's holding his chest like, what's his face, in Sanford and Son.
You're being a little over
And
dramatic.
he says, call 911, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
And Patty's nervous, and Ron drops it. Ron faints. He fainted.
No,
Ron,
I didn't faint.
you said you fainted.
I had a flop sweat going on.
Whatever. So
I had
he almost fainted.
I had all the symptoms of a heart attack.
And then when he's in the ambulance, they say, aren't you Ron St. Pierre from WPRO?
Aren't you the guy on the
HJJ,
radio?
whatever. Isn't that so funny?
And, yeah. Well,
Hey, you're famous. Isn't that you? You're dying. Here's some oxygen.
one of the guys in the rescue squad, he said, you interviewed me once, and I'm thinking he's trying to put the IV in. He's like, you interviewed me once,
That's so great,
and I
Ron.
asked him this point blank. I said, was I a dick? Because he's probing my veins here. So they got me in there. Put me on blood thinners right away.
What was the interview about?
It was he was with the Coventry Fire Department at the time, and it was all about there wasn't enough funding for the Coventry Fire Department.
Okay, so
Didn't really wanted to. At that particular point, I didn't want to have that discussion
Yeah,
with them.
small
I'm like,
talk
I
is-
kind of past that.
Yeah.
But 3 days in the hospital, they had to put me on emergency blood thinners, and then I stayed on blood thinners for 3 months.
That's
and the good news is, just 2 weeks ago, all's clear. The body did what it's supposed to do. The blood clots are all gone, all nicey nice. And we just have to keep an eye on things. But I said I must have had a conversation with 7 different doctors. Not one of them wanted to say, it's probably the vaccine. Now 3 months, let's go forward 3 months. And my primary and the hematologist, when I said, if I have to get a booster shot, if it comes to that, would you recommend me getting a booster shot? And they said no. Imagine that. So 2 of them actually said it's probably because of the vaccine. But when I got on thinners, and I did get my second shot, but I was already on the blood thinners, so I thought it was safe to do that. And I did talk to the doctors as to whether or not that was going to be safe. But when a doctor looks at you and said, if you had called 2 hours later, you wouldn't be here, you're like, hoochie mama.
Yeah, that's pretty. Pardon me, everybody, if you see me doing this. I have hair. I have Hazel's hair all over my face.
Hazel.
But yeah, no, Ron had these cysts that were this big.
Cysts?
Or whatever.
What are you
were
talking about? They're blood clots.
Blood clots. They're like a
Cysts.
cyst on his lung. He was dying.
Jeez, they put me in a leper colony,
He
for
could
God's
be
sake.
dead.
Yeah, well, that's the case.
And
That was
he's
the
not.
case. That was the case. So,
Thank God.
So I
That would have been terrible.
I'm not going to be first in line for a booster shot. I can tell you that
well.
right now. We move on from something that
I'm
doesn't.
glad you're not dead.
Thank you, and I'm glad too.
You look
because-
good.
Thanks.
Yeah, you do. You're alive.
I got to shake about 12 pounds. Other than that, I'm all right.
Whatever.
Oh, a lot of people get the red fanny over this one.
What's that?
Hammer thrower Gwendolyn Berry coming under criticism after she turned away. Have you
is
seen the
that
pictures
that
of this?
thing?
You seen the pictures of this thing?
that
Yeah,
that big-
whoosh, whoosh,
And
whoosh,
you're
whoosh,
like,
whoosh, and you let it go.
"Whoa."
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's
Yep.
the disc.
No, the hammer throw. You hold on to a thing and you go around and around. There's a ball on the end of it and you
Oh,
let it go.
yeah.
All
Okay, like Thor.
All right, like Thor.
Sort of.
Sort of. But anyway, apparently, when the national anthem was played, she put a T-shirt over her head that said activist athlete during the U.S. Olympic trials on Saturday. And she finished in 3rd place, which earns her a place on the team for the Tokyo Olympics. All right, so what she said was, my being able to represent my communities and my people and those who have died in the hands of police brutality, those who have died due to systemic racism, I feel that's the important part. So she wants to make a statement. Republican Rep. Dan Crenshaw, he's the guy that lost his eye in Afghanistan, right?
Yeah, he's that patch dude.
He said on Fox News on Monday, she should be removed from the team. The entire point of the Olympics team is to represent the United States of America, period. Where are you on this? What do you think? I mean, she's not going to get tossed off the team, let's face it. That would cause all kinds of an uproar.
You know, I was driving down here, and I thought, and I was thinking about this. Funny you ask, because I was thinking, why is she? I mean, there are a million other ways that she could be participating in activism, and to take a slot away from somebody who really wants to be there for all the right reasons. I mean, I don't begrudge her for wanting to go out and represent and speak her mind. I mean, that's the beauty of this country. We all know that. So here, go right ahead. But to use the Olympics as that platform,
Wrong.
yeah, it's not the right. There's a right place and a right time. And somebody would say, well, what is it? We had this, and we have had marches, and we've had, because people are not going. You're not going to be likable and endearing, regardless of what your message is. No matter how powerful you think it is, no matter how important, and it is. It's powerful. It is important. She's not likable, Ron. Honestly, I'm going to say it. She looks like a total biatch. She was, I mean...
the body English and
yes,
her face and her whole attitude.
She had the attitude and the this. She said she was set up when they played the national... I mean, it got a little crazy.
So is it going to get to the point now where we have to ask our athletes representing our country, is it okay with you if we play the national anthem?
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to tip in a direction that's beyond the pale. Where do I stand? Not the platform. Do it somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Give an American, a young person who really wants to be there, the opportunity to live a dream and represent a country that they love. That's it.
Should she be booted? Throw her off the team even though she qualified?
No, I don't. Should she? Now, see, is she going to?
No, she's not going to.
Should she? In today's day and age, that would be career suicide for whoever chooses to do that. So, but that's fine. She's going to plot her own course. People are going to be, they're already angry about her. No one's going to use her. I mean, Nike might, because look, Kaepernick and all, but she's not going to be somebody like a FloJo or, I don't know, somebody that we used to love in sports, give me a name.
She's no Mary Lou Retton.
Yeah, she's not going to, well,
but FloJo's FloJo's a much better comparison.
That's a bad example because they'd say, well, she's white, of course.
That's why I just said FloJo's a much better example.
FloJo was awesome. I mean, FloJo was sharp and fast and pretty and articulate and an awesome athlete, and she just loved this country. I mean, I know it's a different time, Ron, but for God's sakes,
For God's sakes, exactly right.
For God's sakes.
You know what? Step off the team.
Don't
Give somebody
go.
else.
If you hate this country
no, she
so
said,
much.
Let me go back.
If you hate this country, don't represent it.
She didn't say that. She went on to say, I never said I hated this country. Oh. People try to put words in my mouth, but they can't. That's why I speak out. I love my people. Okay, she said, but I never said I hate the country. But anyway, time and place for everything. She's a brouillon, if you ask me.
Yeah, but by default, when you say that flag doesn't represent me and you're not willing to in unison, because the Olympics is no, I mean, it's becoming all political now. It always has been, actually, but no sexuality, no this, no that, no issues. Just go and perform and whatever. And you represent this country, good, bad, and indifferent. I mean, by saying that flag doesn't represent me and be totally disrespectful, you can assume that she hates this country and all it stands for.
I don't think that's a large jump to make that assumption, by the way.
Anybody saying that, because you and I are white supremacists because of the color of our skin, and we had something to do with, white colonialism, and we had something to do with, I don't know, some individual's choices that were bad, that they found themselves in a situation. I mean, is this where we're going? So white people are to blame for everything, everywhere, anytime, on all things.
Seems we're heading in that direction.
Sorry, I'm my rant, but yeah, it really upsets me,
anyway,
Ron.
She's a brouillon, if you ask me.
Yeah, she's a big one.
One of the questions that you posted on our Facebook page, which is Ron and Jen's Great Escape, log on to that. A lot of fun stuff up on there, videos and questions and pictures and stuff. What was the first major news story you remembered from your childhood? Somebody said the Cuban Missile Crisis. That's 1962. I can relate to that particular time too, but that's not my pick, and we'll get to mine in a second. Somebody also said the fire on Apollo 1, 1967. That unfortunately took the lives of 3 astronauts: Roger Chaffee, Ed White, and Gus Grissom. Grissom, of course, an original Mercury astronaut. They all 3 died in a flash fire.
What a tragedy!
Yeah, I know. During a launch rehearsal, it was a horrible story.
Art Bell had something to say about that.
Oh, really?
Big conspiracy about that.
Interesting.
Yes, big conspiracy.
We'll go back and find that audio at some time.
Yes, you should.
Now, what was yours? What is your major news story you remembered from childhood?
Well, my Elvis died, and I didn't know what was happening. And it's kind of, you're at that age when you don't see your parents cry, or you're just really becoming a human and trying to figure them out. My mom heard something on the radio, pulled over, and was sobbing, Ron, just sobbing.
Elvis.
So she smoked a cigarette. She was smoking a Marlboro. And I said, Mom, what happened? And she said, Elvis Presley has died. And I thought, okay, I don't know who he is, but my mom was...
You didn't know who Elvis was? How old were you?
Not really. That was
1977.
I was 9. I mean, because my mom didn't really listen to Elvis. She listened to Donna Summer and Neil Sedaka, a lot of R&B. And I mean, Elvis was not a thing in our house, so I really didn't know who he was until years later.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mine is the assassination of JFK.
Really?
I was at St. Raymond School in Pawtucket, which is right on the line, right on the Providence-Pawtucket line. It is now Ocean Tides for boys, the school. The church is still there. St. Raymond's parish is still
Were you
there.
in
fact,
class?
that was Gina Ramundo's parish, St. Raymond's.
No way.
Yeah, but I was in the 3rd grade, and I can remember the nuns. It was St. Raymond School. And the nuns came in, made the announcement, and they were all saying prayers and what have you. Everybody, all the kids were crying because they really couldn't figure it out.
Really?
And I remember they dismissed school. I remember running all the way home, and the first thing I asked my mother is, think about, you're in the 3rd grade, you're a kid. Very first thing I asked my mother is, are we going to war? Why I would jump to that, assessment, because we didn't have any idea who did it and how it came down. But that's my vivid memory. So that's 1963.
Isn't that wild that kids were crying? Because nowadays, I mean, you go into a school and you say, hey, the sitting president died. That's it. Yeah. Whatever. Are we going to get a break? Do we get to go to recess for a half hour?
Yeah, right. Can I have my ring ding now?
I mean, isn't that so unbelievable?
It's true. Can I eat my Twinkies now? Right?
And kids were just sad or confused or
scared, and probably sad. I mean, because let's face it, the presidency was covered a lot differently back then. It was a much more innocent time, too.
Yes.
So if you want to participate, check it out. Jen puts up some really good questions up there on a daily basis. And you can check it out on our Facebook page. It's Ron and Jen's Great Escape. Log on and escape with us and, well, have a smile for the most part. Not on that story.
I mean, I was just thinking that's heavy. Right. My rant about the athlete and then that question, and it seems kind of maudlin to me.
That athlete question begs
I
to
know.
be answered.
Sometimes I really wish we were still doing radio because I would love to talk to people. I wish that we had a phone in or we could talk to people. But
that time might come.
Yes, that time might come. But in the meantime, we can always do this via email. So you can send me an email, jenbrian@rocketmail.com. If you have comments, questions, concerns, whatever, send them along.
Hey, you love food. I love food, too.
I do.
And there's something new here, a sandwich-flavored potato chip.
Yeah, is this technically Jen's News?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so I wasn't sure if this was trending or Jen's News. Do we blow off Jen's News?
No, you never blow that off. Let's go. Blow into that instead.
All right, here we go. Jen's News.
Yes.
I think my kazoo's dying.
Have to get a new one.
Jen's
News.
Yeah.
This is your news and food news, too, to boot, huh?
It is. It is. Ron, do you like potato chips?
I like real potato chips.
Have you watched, by the way, Food That Built America?
I have.
The whole thing about the
show.
chip. Yeah, it's really interesting about Lay's
show.
potato chips. But I ask you about potato chips because Pringles has a new flavor, and people are going crazy about it. Do you eat at Wendy's?
No.
Okay. Well, the heat-packed chips. Okay, there's sandwich-flavored chips that are abound. The heat-packed chips are hitting grocery stores across America. They're going to be available you better stock up for a limited time only. Pringles is joining the chicken sandwich wars. The chip company teamed up with Wendys to launch a new flavor based on, I don't eat at Wendy's. It's a popular item from the fast foods menu. It's the spicy chicken sandwich chip.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
Pringle is making a chip out of
Yes,
that.
that's right. So spicy chicken sandwich Pringles are said to use the same signature spice blend you'll find on the actual sandwich itself, creating a chip that tastes like fried chicken.
I don't know, man.
I was supposed to get something before. Was it a Pop-Tart?
Yeah, the unknown flavor of Pop-Tarts.
Oh, the mystery. Okay, so now
flavor.
I'm on a mission for
man.
the next episode. So because I don't go to the supermarket. So the supermarket, I have to go there and I have to find these chips. Okay.
I looked for the mystery Pop-Tart, by the way, but and it was not on the shelf as of yet. I think it was supposed to be on the shelf at the end of June, so maybe it's on the shelf now. But anything that has mystery blank next to it.
I don't know. That's
you know,
scary.
How many times did you eat in college in the cafeteria, and by Thursday it was, El Bifo Rancho, which is a Thursday's
That's so
hash with
gross.
Wednesday's gravy,
Yeah.
and stuffed peppers with mystery meat, stuffed with what? What's ever left over.
Well, mixed in with the lunch lady's sweat from her arm, her
you had
hairy arm.
If you
so
indeed,
awful.
if you had a lunch lady.
No, I've mentioned this to you. Yes, that's right. I used to have a lunch lady. Do you like to have big ornamental things on your front lawn
Christmas time.
at Christmas time?
That's all.
Do you have a big blow up like?
No, I think we have
Snowman?
like these very large, like decorative balls that you put on a Christmas tree, but we put them on the shrubbery outside.
That's
instead.
it?
That's it. If
so
you're asking me if
boring.
if I have one of those blow up Santa Clauses on my front lawn, no, I don't.
Well, because I would love to have one of those potato heads that you can find somewhere around the state. But in the meantime, somebody kind of stole my idea, but it has to do with a Fred Flintstone. So a Fred Flintstone house owner settles with a California town. He's going to be allowed to keep his cartoon-inspired additions. After a few years of fighting, a woman in Hillsborough, California, finally won the battle to keep her strange-looking house just the way it is. The town decided to allow the house, which is designed to look like, I think this is cool. It's designed to look like it's out of the Flintstones to keep additions recently made to the property. Now, the town had previously taken owner Flores Fang, that's her name, Flores Fang, to court, claiming she had violated local codes. Her front yard features metal sculptures of dinosaurs, statues of cartoon characters from the show, and more. Also, she made her house kind of look like a rock quarry, whatever
what it looks
kind
like.
of thing. Anyway, a decision was made a few weeks ago that will allow Fang to keep her new yard additions, but she's going to have to apply for building permits, and it's going to cost a ton of money.
So do it right and have a yabba dabba do time. She'll have a gay old time.
Well, there's something you can't say anymore, even though that word means happy. Just saying. Now, you know what I was going to do? I was going to introduce some of the things from this book, because a few weeks ago it was a big hit, Ron. We had sex tips from 1854.
The Victorian sex tips.
Yeah, Jen's News, we're all about sex tips. Well, now I have bed manners, how to bring sunshine into your nights. So I'm just going to peruse through this little book, and I'll get back to you on this, because, I mean, some of the things in here, and you could tell everybody where you found this book, by the way, because I think it's really important.
Take a whiff of that, by the way. Smell how musty that is.
Oh, yeah.
That is from the Jolly Charlie's Flea Market, probably in the mid-'70s.
Oh, really?
Yes, Jolly Charlie's.
It says here, even the kindest people are savage at night. So it's all about...
Hey, now.
Yeah, it's all about being married and how you get undressed, how you go to bed. It's not all about sex, though. It's how you actually... when you're sitting next to your spouse.
1942.
Yeah, 1942.
1942.
This book is bed manners. It's all kinds of
great.
etiquette.
It's
Getting
great.
up, going to bed. What if you're out to sea? If you happen to go on bedding roll manners. How to make conversation in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'll look forward to that.
I'm
Maybe
gonna
an
share that
excerpt.
with you.
Maybe a little excerpt each and every podcast from 1942's. What's it called again? Bed manners.
And I screwed up because we got a lot of requests for more fun things to do in Woonsocket, and I don't have the list in front of me.
It's a short list.
Yeah, you'll have. No, it's 23. You'll have to wait till next time.
What's the subtitle to Bed Manners there? How
to bring sunshine into your nights.
Sunshine. How to bring sunshine into your nights.
How to bring sunshine.
Bed
into your
Manners
nights.
coming to a podcast near you.
Right.
Hey, back to Wendy's. They are unveiling a new spicy black bean burger. So apparently, if you're not into the meat, they got a black bean burger on the menu now too. So with that's good choices, options.
I guess.
I guess.
I don't know. I mean, what's the fast food place that you most frequent, even if it's once a year?
Wow.
No, I mean that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Taco Hell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'd be Taco Bell, but I haven't been there in maybe 2 years, but.
Yeah, Taco Bell is special. It is. I have to say. I mean, I love Taco Bell, but I haven't had Taco Bell since the days of my
Taco Bell. Let's face it. Taco
being
Bell's great.
hungover.
Taco Bell is great late night or hangover food.
Yeah, it is.
That's what it is. You know.
And I really want to like Kentucky Fried Chicken, but I can't anymore. I know the meat looks weird.
We used to get that maybe
looks
once a
weird now.
month when I was a kid growing up. My dad would go get one of the buckets, and it was like some kind of a big treat, because we didn't have 2 nickels to rub together when we were kids. But mine's Taco Hell. and everything tastes the same, which is fabulous.
Well, that's like honeydew. No matter what kind of donut you get,
Really?
no matter what kind of coffee, yes, everything. A blueberry muffin tastes like
Interesting.
a plain donut. It tastes like a hot cup of coffee. Everything tastes the same.
Our final story today, and our final category is going to be, this is it, believe it or not, is going to be sports.
It is.
Because this is something you asked me about. Was it the last podcast or the one before that? You asked me about this, the new doings with Major League Baseball and sticky stuff.
That's right. Well, because
sticky substances.
Yeah, I didn't understand what the heck is going on. All of a sudden, everybody is screaming about not being able to cheat. And Major League Baseball says we're going to stop letting you guys use sticky stuff because that actually is cheating, though the guys that use it say it's not really. It's prohibiting, we're not going to get hurt if we do. So on and so on. So there's a guy. If you haven't heard this story, his name is Hector Santiago. He became the first pitcher in Major League Baseball to be ejected for the use of some illegal they don't know what it is.
Don't know what it is.
Some illegal substance since the league installed mandatory umpire checks for grip-enhancing agents. He was ejected on
with pay, by the way, suspended 10 games,
like a week
or 10
ago
days,
or something like this.
So nobody knows what it is. You know what's the worst?
How can they do that, Ron?
You know what's because
you love baseball. Is this good for baseball?
No, it's not. It's not good for the hitters either because these guys are throwing 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And they're losing control of the baseball. A lot of these guys use the sticky stuff, very slight stuff. It could be like sunscreen mixed with rosin, and it just enables them to hold the ball better, grip the ball better. So all of a sudden, a wild pitch isn't coming at you 100 miles an hour at your head. So it's a lose-lose situation, if you ask me. The other thing is, what the hell is Major League Baseball introducing this in the middle of the season? This is something you introduced before spring training.
Ron, nothing makes sense to me. They took the guy's glove and they sent it off to some lab to be tested, but they threw his butt out of the game. And they have no evidence that he did anything wrong. I mean, he's probably lying. I mean, I don't know that for sure.
But he's not a kid either. I think he's a 10-year veteran, if I'm not mistaken.
And wait, since when was rosin and sunscreen illegal? I mean, it's not like Gorilla Glue.
Do you like that?
I think that's great. He's getting really good at this. I can't believe that's the end of the show.
Well, you can stay and do another one if you want.
Was that a good show? I feel like, do you think people will find that interesting? I mean, I don't know. I feel like I have more to say. But I guess you guys can only stand a half hour. If that.
So now you're critiquing as we do the podcast.
Well, why not? This is one of the highlights of my week.
The old ball game. Be nice to each other. Don't go nuts at the pumps, okay? It's $3, and so, deal with it.
No, the advice is don't put gas in plastic bags.
Oh, my Lord. Oh,
please.
Enjoy. Be cool to each other.
You'll find a smile will go a long, long way.